All right, coach is ready to go. Our first question is going to be from Anthony Edwards, and he'll be followed by Dan Raley. So, Anthony, get us started.
Hey, Coach, how you doing today?
Doing great. Good morning.
Good morning to you. So, we've heard you say throughout fall camp and stuff, and we heard it from Coach Bonaparte yesterday that you guys want to get the running backs more involved in the passing game. Just what have you guys been emphasizing during camp, and like what kind of drills maybe have you been running with the guys to just hammer that home?
Yeah, I mean, we want any eligible person that's on the football field for our offense to be able to catch the football. And of course, you know, it's not a secret. We've thrown to our running backs in the past, but our running backs are for sure going to be heavily involved in the pass game, which really is hard to defend. You're so worried about those guys run the ball, and then all of a sudden it's a drop back pass. Those guys are all over the place, you know, swinging behind the line of scrimmage and in front of the line of scrimmage. And we're excited. Those guys are talented. We have a talented running back room, and we think they can all give us something in the passing game.
All right, we'll go to Dan Raley. He'll be followed by Mike Vorel. Go ahead, Dan.
Jimmy, how about a long overdue quarterback progress report?
Yeah. You know, I think it's about the same as it was when we first started. You know, we're really excited about the talent in the room, the four guys that we have there. They've got a considerable amount of reps, and they've all had their shining moments, and they've all had their what the heck is going on moments, and they're learning. And what I harp on with not only that position group but everybody is we have to learn from other people's mistakes as well, not just your own. And I've seen some growth in that quarterback room. Tomorrow night's going to be awesome barometer of where those guys are. We're having our preseason game number 3, 7:00 Saturday night under the lights in Husky Stadium. Sorry you guys aren't invited, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see how the grades turn out for all 4 of those and the rest of our team.
Will you cut it down, the competition, with 2 weeks to go soon?
Really depends how those guys perform. You know, if it's even with all 4 of those guys, then we still got almost 2 weeks left to try to figure out who's going to start in that opening game.
All right, we'll go to Mike Vorel, and Christian Caple will be after him. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Jimmy, how's Savell Smalls doing so far?
Yes, he's coming along very nicely. He's caused a lot of havoc in the backfield, and has also played the run well. He's picked up the schemes very, very quickly. He's a smart young man, loves football. Definitely technique stuff that still has to get better, and it will get better. But he is definitely flashed. We are excited about Savell. He's on the right track, and if he just keeps working hard every single day and continues to get better, he's gonna enjoy, and we will enjoy him possibly playing in 2020.
All right, we'll go to Christian Caple, followed by Larshanson. Hands up if you have a question for Coach. Go ahead, Christian.
Yeah, Jimmy, I'm wondering what kind of camp Puka Nacua has had so far.
Yeah, I mean, a guy that we're extremely excited about. I know all Husky Nation is excited about him. A guy that brings so much energy to the team and so much fire. His hands are I'm going to be a little bit of a bias here, but I think he's got some of the best hands in our wide receiver room. He catches everything, and we're really excited about Puka, as I know Husky Nation is as well.
All right, we'll go to Lars Hansen. He'll be followed by Anthony. Go ahead, Lars.
Hey, Coach. Just want to get an update on where does the center position stand? How's that battle looking? And same with left guard.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I've said it before. We're extremely excited about our offensive line. Coach Huff has done an excellent job of recruiting that position. We've had a number of guys rotating through inside and outside. And like we've done on defense, like I've mentioned before, Lars, guys have to be interchangeable and going back and forth. We're doing the same thing with our offensive line and the rest of our position groups on our team, because all of a sudden injuries or now the coronavirus may knock out half our whole line, and guys that are playing outside have to move inside. And so we really had a bunch of guys that have been rotating through center and the guard position and the tackle position. We have to be a jack of all trades across our whole team.
All right, it's Anthony, and then Mazvita. Go ahead, Anthony.
Hey, Jimmy, how has Asa Turner made the next step in becoming a great player?
I think the first thing that I've noticed with him is he's really helped the young guys come along. It's so funny. He still seems like a young guy to me, but true sophomores, played a lot of football last year for us. And now I've seen him having conversations with the true freshmen, say, hey, no, you have to have your eyes here on this play. You have to make this call to your corner. And so it's fun to watch his growth and knowing our defense, knowing the calls, and being able to teach it to our freshmen. And also he's been able to execute it in practice. And I'm excited to see where, he makes that next jump here as we go into his sophomore season.
All right, Mazvita, and then Christian. Go ahead, Mazvita.
Yep. Hey, Coach, I've got two, one off field and one on field question. Off the field, what's the adjustment been like for you as a head coach and things like, the one team initiative, getting the students to vote? I mean, like those type of things for a head coach that, on campus, off campus stuff. What's that adjustment been like for you?
Well, no, I mean, we're so excited that, we've had a bunch of productive and team meetings over the last 7 months or so. And obviously voting was a big thing that I wanted to make sure our team was registered. We were excited. They were all on board with it. They were excited about it, and we got our whole team registered to vote. And now they have to actually go vote now. And I'm not sure if you guys saw it or not, but I sent my ballot in earlier this week and talked to the team about that, and making sure we can't just register. Now we have to go put action to this. And I'm excited. We brought in a group to talk about the history of voting and how I wasn't able to vote, decades ago because of the color of my skin. And also, I pointed to some of our, the women that are on our staff, and I said they weren't able to vote 50, 60 years ago. And so we really just talked about the importance of voting and how we can't take it for granted. And I also shared with them that I come from a military background, and I've been in countries where their people were not allowed to vote and was run by a dictatorship. So shared a bunch of those stories. I think that the team was definitely listening and understands the importance of voting, and that a lot of Americans have died and our allies have died for us to have the right to vote. And so I'm excited. I think a lot of our guys have voted already, and this will be an exciting year for those guys to grow.
Thanks. And then on the field, how important is it to have the balanced attack on offense? I know, there's talk of the receivers catching the ball, but clearly you're looking for a balanced attack. How important is that?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it, coming from a defensive perspective, that's the side of the ball that I grew up on. That's the hardest thing for us to defend. When you don't know if they're going to run it or they're going to pass it, it puts you in limbo. And we definitely want to be balanced. It's going to help our quarterback be productive. It's going to help our running game. It's going to help our passing game. It's going to help us put points on the board and possess the ball and win football games.
All right, we'll go Caple, then Vorel. Go ahead, Christian.
Yeah, I know when Buddha and Byron Murphy, Zeke Turner, and all these guys play the way that they do on Sundays and on Monday, it's easy to look at that and say, oh, that's got to be really helpful for recruiting for a school like Washington. I'm curious how that actually translates. Like, are you guys, do you make sure to send those clips directly to guys that you are recruiting, and just how important is that, and kind of how do you leverage, guys making plays in the NFL to help you with your recruiting process?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing, we're all just extremely proud that they're representing the University of Washington. Obviously, they're representing their families. I'm so excited for those guys. I'm jumping off my couch when any one of our former dogs make plays. So I know Husky Nation and, of course, every single player that was around those guys or staff member just gets excited that they're living their dream and making a bunch of plays on the biggest stage. But definitely when the facts are laid out there that we, in the Pac-12, we have the most NFL, the most number of NFL players in the NFL right now that come from the Pac-12, come from the University of Washington. That's a fact. That goes to our development that we have here. That goes to the guys that we pinpoint to offer scholarships to and to bring them in here because we feel that they will be big-time players for the University of Washington, but also potential NFL draft picks. And, of our staff being here going on 7 years now, the proof is in all that production that we're having going on to the next level. So it definitely helps us recruiting for sure. We get a bunch of messages when our guys are making plays on Sundays and Mondays. And how about Sunday night football? We got the Seattle Seahawks against the Arizona Cardinals. I can't wait to sit back and watch that game, and it's going to be fun. There's going to be some dogs on both sides of the ball on both teams. Should be fun to watch.
All right, Mike Vorel, then Dan Raley. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Jimmy, you've mentioned these scrimmages that you're doing on Saturdays, and I'm wondering, the thought process that went into trying to make those as realistic as possible, and how important that is for guys who haven't played a game in 10 months now.
Yeah. And, Mike, this is something that I've always written down that I wanted to do, even if there was no pandemic right now. I'm always trying to recreate the game. I think it helps our players perform better on game days. And anytime you can make practice exactly like a game, when we get to that real game, they've done it before. They've been there before. So this is something that I've had written down in my notes for years. And now it's nice to finally, put those ideas and make them come alive. Yeah, so we're entering our game number 3, full refs, coin toss, halftime, every detail will happen this Saturday night and in our final preseason game next week. So our team's excited. I'm excited. Our coaching staff excited, and we can't wait to see who will perform under the lights and who maybe the lights are a little bit too bright. It's going to be nice to find that out now as opposed to November 7th.
I'm frozen over here, so. Okay, good. I'm still on. We'll go to Dan Raley, followed by Tim Booth.
Jimmy, with your scholarship guys, have you had any radical position changes or any attrition so far?
Position changes, like right now during camp?
Yeah, I know you're trading guys around at different spots, but have you moved anybody to something that you didn't really expect?
No, we have not.
Okay.
Nope.
And everybody still with you that's showed up through a couple of weeks?
Yes, everybody's still here. Yep.
Okay.
All right, we'll go to Tim Booth, then Chris Fetters. Go ahead, Tim.
Hey, Jimmy, got 2 quick ones for you. With the quarterbacks, when do you need to narrow it down and make that final decision so that whoever the starter is feels like he's adequately prepared for the opener? Is it this time next week? Is it game week? What's your sort of target there?
Right. And again, this goes to, who is going to be able to lead our offense, make plays here coming up in these last 2 preseason games that we have. I think after that last preseason game, we'll probably have a pretty good idea. We'll be able to pare that list down for sure. But there's not going to be a timetable. So, hey, we're going to make a decision by this date, no matter what. If we're not ready to make that decision, we're not ready to make that decision. If we're going to the game and we still like 3 of the guys, then maybe all 3 guys are going to play. If we like 2 of the guys, 2 guys are going to play. If there's a clear leader, then that guy will be the starter. It really just all plays itself out on film and out on tape. And that's what I've told the team at every single position, but especially our quarterback position. It's all going to play itself out. And the cream always rises to the top. And we'll make those decisions once that cream finally does rise to the top.
And then I know there was some NCAA legislation about making Election Day off for athletes. How does that, have you guys factored that into your preparation, being that it lands on the week of the opener?
Yeah, great question. Yes, we have. And we're also excited that we're using the Dempsey Indoor for a voting station right here at UW. So people will be able to, cast their ballots on Election Day right here at the University of Washington. And yes, we've adjusted our schedule. Normally our player day off would be on a Monday, which they will be every week after that first week against Cal. But we've adjusted. So Tuesday will be our player day off and we will practice on that Monday.
All right, sorry about that. We'll go to Chris Fetters and then Anthony Edwards after Chris. Go ahead.
Jimmy, kind of going on that theme when you were talking about registering, voting, and doing all those types of things. It just, I know you're ramping up and everything's going warp speed right now, but you also take a lot of pride in those built for life items, those kind of bigger ticket items. How have you been able to kind of really fit those in while at the same time understanding that there's only so much time that you've got in a day to be able to kind of get all that stuff accomplished?
That's what I've realized 8 years ago when I got to meet Chris Peterson. you make time for this. This is the foundation of our program is built for life. We are, our whole purpose here is a team built to win, but it's men built for life. And we have to make time for these important things that we want to teach our young men. And I think it's our duty. It can't just be all about football. And it's been awesome to be able to have these team meetings and have a good back and forth between our staff and our players, and also be out at practice. And at the end of practice, have a great open discussion about the hot topics that's what's going on right now in our world. And so that'll always be the foundation of our program, and we will always make time for those issues.
All right, we'll take 3 more people here. Anthony, then Christian, then Kim Grinolds. Go ahead, Anthony.
Let me shoot 2 at you real quick, Jimmy. So you've always characterized yourself as a competitive person. Where did you get that, or who gave that kind of personality to you?
Yeah, I've been asked that before. I don't really know. I do know this. I have a twin brother, and we used to compete at everything. So maybe that's what it is. I think, siblings probably always have a little bit of a rivalry, and they're always trying to, one up each other. But my twin brother was a heck of an athlete, and we're still close to this day. I maybe point to that. I think, I don't really know. I have to ask one of my family members. Cool.
And what's it like playing in Husky Stadium for its 100th season, regardless of the fact that there probably won't be fans there?
It has so much history, so much tradition, and our team, our staff respect that. It really is. It's humbling. I think that's the word I'm looking for. It's humbling. It's humbling to think that there's been football played for that many years, and that we're going to be able to go take that field here shortly. We definitely wish we had Husky Nation in there right behind us, but we know that we're watching at home on TV, and then hopefully soon, once we get this thing under control, this virus, we will be able to flood that stadium with purple and gold fans.
All right, we'll go to Christian and then Kim to wrap it up. Go ahead, Christian.
Yeah, I'm wondering, I know you put Jack Westover on scholarship. I'm wondering if there's anybody else who's been put on scholarship who wasn't before, and also just what it is about Jack and what it is about anybody who comes as a walk-on who you guys end up giving a scholarship to that leads you to that decision.
Yeah. Well, first with Jack, I mean, I think you guys have seen it on game day, but we see it in practice and in the weight room every single day. He has a work ethic. He's smart. He's tough. He brings it every single day. And when you're making plays and you're taking care of business in the classroom, and you're leading by example in the weight room and in practice, you're going to get a scholarship. And we've rewarded guys over the years, walk-ons continually. And we have a really good walk-on group right now that we recruited in here, this fall. And I can already see a few guys that if they just keep grinding away, they're eventually going to earn a scholarship as well. But we also, the team already knows, and this happened a month and a half ago. Race Porter is also on scholarship. A guy that has you talk about competitive, and maybe you guys don't see it. This guy is a competitor. He is a competitor, and he brings great energy to our team day in and day out. He's our holder. He's also been punted for us, and he's going to do a lot of things for us this year. I'm so excited for him to be on this team, and both those guys represent what it means to be a dog.
All right, last question will come from Kim Grinolds. Go ahead, Kim.
Hey, Coach. Rivalries make college football special, and the Apple Cup is obviously a big one. Coach Rolovich yesterday got in the fray and took the first shot over the bow yesterday, saying Husky Stadium was built on a dump. Any comments or care to get into that at all?
We're focused on preseason game number 3, which is Saturday night, 7:00. And then next week, we'll be focused on preseason game number 4. That's actually going to tee off at 9 a.m. because I don't know if you guys heard, there's going to be 9 a.m. kickoffs. So we're actually practice that next week. And then it's all eyes, all arrows pointed at the University of California.
All right, that'll wrap us up for today. Thank you, Coach, for your time. Thanks, everybody, for joining in.
Thanks, guys.